Good morning, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers. It's Thursday, January 25th.
And you're watching Torrington Today.
Well, in yesterday's paper, you can read all about the district's graduation rate, and as well as the state's for 2016-17. It did dip slightly in the district, but it's still about 5 points above the state's, which is up over the last 5 years. So we're still doing pretty good. They still got a few kids there to scoop up and get them on time, but otherwise, it's hard to argue with 80-some percent.
And above the state average. It's
Yes.
hard to argue with that. So.
Yes. And then tomorrow's paper, there's a couple new employees at EWC, and you can read all about the new criminal justice instructor tomorrow. He has been a cop for a long time, a law enforcement officer, investigator, deputy, highway patrol, and he also has a PhD.
That's a pretty full resume.
Yeah, he's extremely passionate about criminal justice, so if you've ever wanted to go into that, you've got a great opportunity now up there with Mr. Shane Stone. So
a good resource, at least.
Yes. Also, there's a story about sagebrush and roses, kind of a preview of that, and I'll talk about that more in upcoming events. So.
As far as sports goes, either check the paper yesterday or online for all 12 of your local Goshen County sports teams. They were all in action this past weekend. That includes Goshen County indoor track, EWC men and women's basketball, and the 3 sports at all the 3 high schools. So a lot of things happening, to say the least.
Yes, sounds like it.
So, like I said, if you can't find your favorite team in the paper, be sure to check online. All the recaps are posted online. Some highlights: Southeast took second at the Dogger Invite this past weekend. They had 9 wrestlers placed there, so Southeast wrestling is definitely on the up and up this year.
Like
so
it.
Can't complain with that. In other wrestling news, Torrington took 7th at the Lander Invite, and Lander is kind of a precursor to the state tournament, which comes up at the end of February because most of all the 3A schools were in Lander, so Torrington taking 7th gives kind of a ballpark of what things you can kind of expect when we get to the state tournament. Obviously, a lot of mat time between now and then, so
Sure.
Don't take my word for it, but just gives you an idea. So, as far as tomorrow's paper, Tuesday actually had a lot of basketball action. All 3 high schools had boys and girls games. Torrington had a pretty good night on both ends. Both teams came back from a halftime deficit. The boys came back from 11 points down at halftime, and
Wow.
the girls came down from, I think it was 9 points at halftime. So some good things happening in Torrington on Tuesday. You can also read about the EWC men. They were in action last night, so you can read about that in tomorrow's paper.
Sounds like a lot of sport.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're entering conference season for a lot of the high school basketball teams, so a lot of marquee games coming up when we get closer to the postseason.
Sounds good. Well, also this weekend is, I guess I don't know if those are this weekend, but this weekend is Sagebrush and Roses, which is EWC's annual event. It's the 12th annual, and this year, as well as last year, it was raising money for the ATEC building, which they're still looking to fund. But I spoke to Leslie Travers, the president of the college, and she said they're hoping to break ground this spring. So, but this weekend's event features Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band, a local art show, some fancy food. Just, I guess people get real dressed up. They go out to the fairgrounds and have a good night because, holidays have been over for a while. You haven't had a lot of fun lately, maybe. So might as well go celebrate EWC.
As far as this weekend goes in sports, like I said, a lot of things are happening here in Goshen County. You're slightly limited. Torrington hosts Douglas for boys and girls basketball tomorrow night. Lingle has a home game Saturday against Pine Bluffs. That's boys and girls in the afternoon, and Lingle also hits the road tomorrow night for Burns. Southeast boys and girls have road games on Saturday against Glen Rock. EWC men have a home game on Saturday against Air Force Prep. The EWC women are actually at home tonight. That game starts at 6 against Northeastern College. As far as wrestling goes, Torrington is heading to the Ron Thon in Riverton, and Torrington JV, Lingle Fort Laramie, and Southeast are going to Mitchell on Saturday. So, like I said, a lot of things are happening.
Sure.
So, keeps your calendar full, that's
Yeah.
for sure. As far as weather goes, we aren't looking terrible for this time of the year, especially after the snow we've been having. Today you can expect some more snow to be melting away. Today's high is 45, and tomorrow we're looking at 35, and then on Saturday we're at 38. So I think maybe average temperatures for this time of the year, so I can't really complain, and we'll probably see more of this snow melt away. So
sounds good.
Just in time for another batch, I'm
Yep.
sure. So, well, there you have it, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
And you've been watching Torrington Today.